Hi, I'm Luke,
I'm Zach.
and Blizzard hates gamers.
This is Pretty Clean Gaming. So not only does Blizzard hate gamers, but they also seem to have a little bit of problem with their casters and their leagues in general. Now, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the Overwatch League. In particular, the caster we're going to kind of focus on for today is Christopher Miles, also known largely as Monte Cristo.
The Count of Monte Cristo. See, this is your territory.
Yeah, this is not a proper revenge story.
No. Well, that part's my territory, but the esports part, that's more your territory.
No.
But one thing I do know is that, yeah, Blizzard and Activision pretty much hate everyone who's not making them the most money possible.
So, yeah, it seems to be, if you don't agree with them, ship it.
Okay. Why?
So, Monte Cristo has had about 15 years of esports experience. A lot of that is largely on games. League of Legends, for the most part. He was a coach for Counterlogic Gaming. He was a caster for the League Champion Series in Korea for most of his time casting League of Legends. And also he was a caster of the world stage with his partner for almost all of that casting time, whose tag is Doa. And they've been together for a very long time. I've watched them. I enjoy both of their content. Amazing. But aside from that, Monte Cristo also has about 300,000 Twitter followers and about 70,000 subscribers on YouTube. So he has a pretty long reach,
right,
in terms of not only his proficiency with the esports, but also with his social media presence.
Okay.
He was one of the first commentators with the Overwatch League when its inception as a league started in 2016.
Okay, so he's been part of the main attraction here for Blizzard for some time then, which I guess really then makes it more shocking for them that he's gone.
Yeah.
He's going.
So what happened is his contract ran out at the end of 2019.
Okay.
And he made a statement saying he does not wish to continue on with the Overwatch League. He says, there are this and that reason, but the biggest thing of all is that he feels like Overwatch League does not understand their audience. And for, someone with so much experience, you'd think
right,
they want to listen.
Yeah. So I mean, from what I'm gathering here, what it sounds like is Blizzard is really trying to tackle their league, and I'm hesitant to say new, but their league. They're trying to pull tactics from other modern sports leagues, NFL, NBA. They're trying to follow a very specific televised model, something that you'd be watching on ABC, CBS, just a normal sports casting type of scenario. They want teams. They want you to know those teams. They want you to live and breathe those teams. And sure, there are going to be some standout stars there, but for the most part, esports has always been a thing where the individual truly rises, right? I remember even back in the Halo 2, Halo 3 days, Tom Taylor, T-Squared, this, a name that you remember that was associated with him, these, the Ogre Twins.
And it's a great idea to bring up T-Squared because, I mean, when you thought of T-Squared, you thought of the team, but that was just Tom Taylor.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's the thing, is that the way people have traditionally viewed esports has been significantly different. And I mean, there have been other attempts, MLG, and, there's always been Counter-Strike championships throughout the years. But we've really seen this prevalent push in the past couple of years from big companies like Steam and Blizzard and Riot, League of Legends, to really focus this system that they have going on here. But Blizzard particularly is really driving, Activision Blizzard I should say, is really trying to get a hook with this model, and it's just so antithetical to what has always been.
Right. And kind of piggybacking on what you said earlier, when they're doing all these sports, we have seen Overwatch League on ESPN.
Right. And not the Ocho.
And you can really see how they have made all of the sports teams localized. Like they got like LA teams, they got Houston, and so on. And they're all localized American teams. So, but they do have foreign. Well, I guess since it's an American product, foreign teams that do compete as well, and players. But we have people who've dipped their hats in from like the owners of NFL teams getting into this mix, and that's when you really see that they're trying to make this kind of a more streamlined sports entertainment.
And this is particularly, they're trying to do these pushes because, from what I understand, these haven't been profitable yet for them. Not in a sense.
Not in the sense where you can really like brag about.
Yeah. But they've I believe they've been operating at a loss, if not just close to the bar.
Right.
So I understand that they're going for everything they can, but I mean, on top of that compounds with just in general Activision Blizzard's financial problems, which is a whole other story. Which don't get me wrong, it's not like they're in the dumps. But
they're struggling to get something.
They don't have any new games.
Yeah.
They're not making any money. So this ties into a whole grander scheme of things. Of they're trying to nickel and dime every situation possible, which sort of leads into this whole continuation, this deal, that's happening with YouTube, with Overwatch League, and with Call of Duty. And how that all ties in, right?
Yeah. So even before we even get into that, Monte Cristo goes on in this perfect segue.
Okay.
He says, I felt there wasn't anybody in the current leadership that had any deep understanding of esports. There wasn't a really good unified vision between the aesthetic and the tone of the Overwatch League, especially when Nate Nazar left. Since he was the person doing that. Basically, Nate leaving was really hard because he was the linchpin of understanding the game and the audience. And we don't have people who understand the game and the audience anymore. You can see it with most of Blizzard's titles. I mean, Activision and Blizzard are really struggling to find that bridge between the game and the audience. And you see this obviously with the Warcraft. Yeah. So obviously portrayed in the Warcraft debacle.
Reforged. It's a mess. It's a mess. You know that. We know that. We all know that.
Hello, I'm
J. Allen Brack,
President and CEO of
Blizzard, Diablo Immortal.
It's a tragedy that should have never happened. And to all those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. Sorry.
And plenty of other blunders.
Yeah.
So it's nothing new. And specifically with Blizzard, right?
Yeah.
Because
and it's not to say that Overwatch League is in any kind of jeopardy. I mean, they had 4 of their main casters leave, but they picked up 3 new casters. So it's not like they're, going under.
Oh, dude, it's Doomed Fist.
No, it's Doomed Eternal.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. No, it's... no!
You see how I just disregarded your pun with another one?
Kaboom! You've been lawyered.
Diablo Immortal. Okay, continue. Go.
So, but yeah, so most of these deals happened at the end of the year 2019, and the beginning of the year 2020. Activision Blizzard announced that they are going to migrate from Twitch to YouTube for streaming their leagues. Now, this is the Call of Duty League that just started up.
Right.
The Overwatch League and Hearthstone Esports. Those are the 3 main things that they're going with for the transfer to YouTube. So, what does this mean for YouTube?
Money.
Well, obviously.
Money spent. Definitely a lot of money spent. We have all these platforms pushing for more notoriety. YouTube's definitely been trying to get more and more market share ever since they really released the YouTube gaming program. They saw Twitch as a real competitor. They saw Amazon coming in and being like, we're going to buy Twitch. We're going to run this game.
And then something else jumped into the mixer.
Yes. Okay. Anyhow, you just messed me up. It's fine. It's okay. We're back in the mix. So, as I was saying, they've been really prioritizing that, and all these companies are making real big money moves, not just, with companies, but even with individual streamers.
Right.
We saw Ninja, we saw Shroud, we saw Dr. Disrespect getting a huge payout to stay in Twitch. Allegedly. I digress. So all these moves are happening, and it's really set up this interesting scenario for Activision Blizzard, which really kind of points back in a cyclical way to them really looking for more money every single way they can.
Right.
Because now even their integration deals are affecting their game's microtransactions.
Right. So what's happening is because of their quick merge to YouTube, they haven't been able to fully concrete the League token, the Overwatch League tokens, because they had their whole entire Twitch page was set up to basically every hour you watch, you get an average of 3 League tokens. And every so often you get some kind of, in Twitch browser loot box that you would redeem if your account was connected between Overwatch League and your Overwatch account. You would redeem it in Overwatch to get some kind of gift, some coins, additional 100 League tokens.
Right.
A whole bunch of different offers.
And again, to clarify, that's the thing. You had the ability to purchase, but you also had the ability to earn those
just by being a viewer.
Right. Something similar to, their original model for loot boxes in general, right? You have the ability to purchase loot boxes, and then you have the ability to earn those coins in game.
Yes.
and purchase those things on your own, purchase skins on your own. And honestly, that's been the model that's been heralded by a lot of people who are proponents for, look, there is a successful way to implement microtransactions and loot boxes without totally messing with the customer, right?
Right.
Even though it's still kind of shady gambling.
Well, the thing that Overwatch did that was, a lot of people give credit for is that their microtransactions for the loot boxes or for the League tokens are only cosmetics.
Right.
So it doesn't really impact the gameplay, but what happens is, now that there's no League tokens, how do you get League tokens?
Exactly.
You have to buy them.
Right.
You have to buy them.
Right. Because there's no integration as of right now.
Currently.
There's no integration on YouTube for these systems, for these redemption. So it's created this very peculiar scenario, especially for people who have purchased into it, right?
Right. And
previously purchased into it.
This normally wouldn't have been a big deal except the release of this new Brigitte skin, which is 200 League tokens. And as soon as the merge happened, this skin is announced. So now there's no way to gain League tokens. The only way you can get it is to buy them, or if you had some left over.
Right. You need that GOAT skin.
And the skin's not even the issue. The issue is that how do you get it? You get it by paying money for it. Because the system is not in place, it's not being talked about, the audience wasn't thought about.
Right. Or maybe not even not thought about, but they most likely just didn't give a damn.
Or they just didn't give a damn and they're like, $10, let's do it.
Yeah, let's just force them. At this point, when, we're in a period of transition.
Right.
It's so easy to just push that blame, throw out some corporate talk, We'll make sure to do better in further circumstances. It's just such a new thing is happening right now. We're really just changing the game and we're leading the way in the industry. Like, I can just smell it. And then eventually the president of Blizzard is going to do some bullcrap apology like a week ago.
Right.
And it's just a bunch of nonsense. I think they know exactly what they're doing.
And it's not even just that
They can get more sales.
It's not even that it ends there. On the League page for Twitch, you could pay for the All Access Pass. The All Access Pass gave, you could watch every member in the game currently from their in-game point of view, but also you got all these emotes, all these Twitch emotes that went with it, which, again, is not a super big deal on its own, but now they are gone. And you can't use them because they're on YouTube.
Right.
So all this money you put in, all this time you put in, just like that.
Sayonara.
And there's no approach for them to do anything about it. They haven't even spoken about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see silence. Because that's what we've seen.
Silence,
They're trying to
outrage,
stonewall, silence, outrage, and then maybe address it. Not fully, but partially. Just throw a little bone to the dogs.
Yep.
Move on.
Maybe like a quick picture that shows the little icon on YouTube.
Right.
That says, we're working on it.
Either way, I just think this is a sign of more things to come. I think they keep pushing the waters, testing the waters to see what they can get away with.
Right.
Because let's admit it, they just, like I said earlier, they just don't have this strong lineup. They don't have new IPs coming. There's not excitement for the IPs that are coming. Right? Diablo,
so
they
really
really screwed the pooch with Immortal, and then 4 came at BlizzCon, and it's like, it just looks like more of the same. It's not exciting. What's coming out from Activision? They lost Destiny.
Right.
All they have is Call of Duty and Warcraft subscriptions.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's pretty much it. So what are they going to do? They're going to find these ways to whoopsies into money.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this is an example of.
It's just sad.
Yeah, it really is.
It's sad to see this happening to the company we grew up with.
Yeah. It's troubling times for Blizzard. Especially Blizzard. I mean, Activision, we all know what they're like, but...
Yeah. Well, I suppose that wraps that up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button wherever it is. Physically abuse the like button. Hit subscribe if you like our content. We're trying to do this multiple times a week. We'll get there. And, hit that little bell.
Yeah, don't... Bing, bing!
Exactly. So that you know we're coming for you.
With you?